Good afternoon, everyone, especially to you, ma'am. Good afternoon. I am Trishia E.Semorio, the reporter of Police VATICAN Model. So first, I'm going to show the flag of Vatican. So, first is the Key of Heaven, or the other term is Key of St. Peter. The gold key represents spiritual power and ability to close the gate of heaven, while the silver key represents the worldly power and ability to open the gate of heaven. So next is vision and mission. So in vision, a world healed and redeemed through the salvific action of Jesus Christ. While the mission, nagproclaim siya and defend the message of Christ, to work for the unity of His church and to promote peace and justice for all humanity. The Holy See Vatican. So, when we say the Holy See Vatican, it is a very long tradition of law enforcement. In the period of 1500 to 1870, the Vatican was the supreme ruler of the Papal State. Essentially, most of the area ng northeast and also south of Rome. So, while the occupation by Napoleon, the Revolution of 1848, overall, gina-complex niya ang law enforcement system na place sa entire period of time. So, Vatican law enforcement before 1870 was widely studied in Europe and seen as model for all types of policing. The French and Austro-Hungarian police were particularly adept students. Gina-embrace nila ang skills of papal police, and living in the papal state was grim. The death penalty was applied frequently, and heavy hand of the law can only be compared to some of the worst excesses of dictatorship. Law enforcement during this slightly historical period consisted of numerous tasks. So number 1, general policing, which was done by village magistrate and gendarmes. So when we say village magistrate, amoy ni siya ang nag-appoint out or ginapointed niya ang court. Number 2, customs, which had no an exhaustive system of customs control to replenish the always empty coffer of the Holy Father. So, replenish, amoy ni siya fill up or gina-build up niya otro. So, number 3, intelligence gathering, in which the papal police routinely intercepted letters and read them. So, ginakopy nila ang mga interested part and gina-change nila. Their main objectives was power politics, reducing dissent in the papal state and eliminating the growing influence of Australian Hungary, Spain, and France during most of the 19th century. The Kingdom of Savoy, which would unify Italy in 1870, eventually reduced the papal state to the current tiny Vatican compound. So, Vatican is isa siya sa mga gamay na place or gamay sa na country. The ability to break codes was seen as a particular skill. Number 4, religious law enforcement, which was very different from power politics issue. Ang religious law enforcement, naga-involve siya sa Office of the Holy Inquisition and papal investigators spread no effort in tracking down religious dissenters. After the collapse of papal state, the Holy Father withdrew inside the walls of the Vatican and would not leave again until the Concordat with Mussolini in 1932. So, concordant, concordant, it means isa siya ka agreement or treaty, especially between the Vatican and the secular government relating to matters of mutual intent. So, the Vatican did, however, retain much of the structure of its police forces that continued with religious law enforcement, as well as aggressive intelligence gathering, always probing for way to weaken the new Italian state. Next is after the 1923 Concordant, and then again in the papacy of John 13, the Vatican discerned getting rid of most of its various police forces as well as armed forces. Intelligence gathering, however, did expand, and to this day, the Holy See is considered to be one of the most effective intelligence services on earth, with skills roughly on a par with Britain and Israel. While intelligence gathering is not a policing function per se, it was always tightly integrated into internal police structures. Then, lastly, currently the Vatican retained two real police forces whose study often overlap. That's number one, the Vatican Gendarmes. So, ang Vatican Gendarmes is a group of about 100 Italian men charged with the maintenance of security and order inside Vatican territory. So, ang 100 Italian men is to sila ang mga nag-maintain ng security within the Vatican territory only. So, number two, the Swiss Guard, a group responsible for the personal security of Pope and for the security of the apostolic places. So, ang Swiss Guard daw is sila ang mga security personnel na na responsible para lamang sa mga importante na mga tao, mga VIP like the Pope and the apostolic places kung hain naghuya ang Pope. So, one of the most complicated parts of policing the Vatican today is the exceptionally observed relationship with the five principal Italian police forces. By treaty, no Italian police officers may enter the Vatican unless invited. So, walay makasod sa Vatican territory or sa isa ka places if way imo invitation. They are invited and frequently to provide assistance with financial crimes, which are frequent, the occasional homicide and fraud. So, once again, by the way, I am Trishia E.Semorio, and thank you for listening.